Okay, we are rolling. So let's just start. If you have your tennis ball or any kind of foot, pinky ball, today I'll use these to demonstrate just because I can't find my ball, but anything for the feet, have that nearby. And then we'll just start seated. Let's kind of sit onto the edge of our seat and bring the feet a little bit wide, so maybe as wide as your shoulders. And allow the feet, kind of let the toes lift up off the ground here. So lift your toes up towards your shins, but you're keeping the ball of the foot and pinky toe on the ground. You're keeping your heel on the ground, and notice as you lift, if you look down at one foot, by lifting the toes up, you might see an increase of the arch or not. And so just notice what happens when you lift your toes up. And then let's place the toes down. And then we're going to see if you can draw, go way back here maybe so you can see, as if you could you pull your big toe and heel towards each other. And so your feet stay on the ground, but you're going to see if you can lift your arch. This is called short foot. So I'm thinking a big toe and heel drawing together. And what that does is it lifts my arch. And then relax and lift your toes up. So we'll just play a little bit here right away with our feet, just getting us into our bodies. And then drop the toes down and see if you can lift the arch of the foot. So my toes are staying long, but they're pulling in so the arch lifts. And then relax. One more time. We'll just lift the toes up. And then lay the toes down. Can you draw big toe and heel, inner heel towards each other and lift the arch? And then relax. Good. Okay, just relax the feet. That's just a little bit of wake. We'll come back to those. And then bring your hands, just rest them on your thighs. And just close your eyes. And just notice how now there's sensation or awakeness in the feet, at least any amount of awakeness in our feet. And allow the feet to just feel heavy on the ground, like take up space on the ground. So notice the texture of the floor or the mat or the rug that's under your feet. So feel that sensation. And then just feel easy length through the crown of the head. Let's roll our shoulders up, back, and down. And keep the shoulders kind of back and down so that we have an open chest. And then we're going to take some deep breaths here to start. So we're going to inhale into the belly first. Allow the inhale to rise up all the way to your chest. And then full exhale, either out the nose or the mouth. Make it a long, slow exhale. All the way out. Keep exhaling until the very end of your exhale, you just feel the belly gently draw back towards your spine. And you're going to repeat that 4 more times. And you'll be on your timing. See if you can really breathe from the base of the spine all the way up to the chest. And when you exhale, exhaling out as long and as deeply as you can in this moment. And at the very end of the exhale, whenever that happens, there's a drawing back of the belly. You'll do 2 more rounds. Stay very relaxed as you breathe. And maybe on this last round, on that exhale, not only does the belly gently draw back, but think about the belly drawing a little bit up. All right, and then just let that go. Let's open the eyes. Let your arms hang by your sides. Hopefully they have space so they're not hitting the chair. And from our arm bones, so from the shoulders, the hands and the rest of the arm will follow. We're going to start to externally rotate the arms. And we're doing this from the shoulder. And the arms will open. The thumbs will turn back. And then relax. And so we inhale the whole time that happens. So we inhale, arm bones roll open. Feel how the arm bones roll open. The thumbs will turn back and the chest will even lift. And then exhale, we let it go. Inhale. Opening, opening, inhaling, inhaling. Exhale, let it go. Feel that relaxation when the arms drop back. 2 more times. We add the eyes. Inhale, externally rotate arms. Eyes look up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Eyes look up. Exhale, let it go. We're going to roll down. So we inhale the same way. Inhale, externally rotate, open, open, open. Let that chest lift, eyes look up. When you exhale, we're going to exhale. The arms will roll in. Chin goes towards your chest. We're going to roll forward over your sternums. Just a little forward fold over the ribs and over the sternum. Not quite hanging totally over your legs yet. And then we roll back up. We inhale as we unroll the spine, externally rotate, look up. We exhale, arms roll in, chin to chest, roll over your sternum, your breastbone. Just hang over that sternum, let the arms hang. Inhale, start to unroll the spine, open the arms, look up. Exhale, roll inward, chin to chest, shoulders roll forward, roll over your sternum. We'll do one more round. Inhaling, unrolling, externally rotating the arms. Let your chest lift, eyes lift. And exhale, rolling down. And then roll back up, nice long spine. We're going to do a little leg stretch right away today. So also good for our feet. We're going to take your right leg, stretch it forward in front of you. Your left leg stays bent. I'm just on the edge of my chair. So I want to be on the edge so that the pelvis is nice. I'm right on top of my sits bones. Okay, nice neutral spine. You're going to flex your feet. So here the toes are actively pulling up the shin. So we might feel some activity eventually, hopefully, in the shin. Now let's just keep that flexion. And some of us already, I feel a little stretch in my calf. So if you're tight, you might feel a stretch even here. Can we take our whole leg and just roll it out? And then we're going to take that whole leg and roll it in. Okay? I'll go this way too. So we're rolling the whole leg out from that thigh bone and we're rolling it in. So we're just mobilizing a little before we go into the stretch, prepping the joints for a little bit deeper stretch, especially since we're still just warming up. And so I'm rolling thigh bone in and thigh bone out. Can I keep a tall spine? Thigh bone in and thigh bone out. Beautiful. And then let's go thigh bone in. So we're turning the thigh bone in, which means the toes turn in. And then can you point your toes and point down and in towards the left with your toes? You might get a cramp, but you also might feel a stretch on the outside of the foot. And then you're going to flex the foot back up, pull your pinky toe towards the outer hip. Okay? And so just the foot again points down and in. And then pull just the foot, pulls up and out. Good, one more time. Point down and in. And then pull up and out. Now we're going to point down and in. This is a nerve stretch, so we're going to go slow here. Pointing down and in. I'm going to take my body nice and long, and I'm going to hinge slightly forward until I feel a stretch along the side of my foot, maybe the side of my shin, and maybe a little bit of hamstring. But we really want to feel a lot of this activity down in that lower leg, okay? And then we come back up and flex your foot. Pull the pinky toe back up towards the outer hip. And let's do it another time. So let's turn the toes down and in. Tall spine, we hinge forward. That's it. And go slow, pause when you feel it. Hopefully we're feeling some activity in the outer foot, shin, maybe hamstring. And then we come back up and we flex the foot. All right, beautiful. Let's go ahead to the other side. So I'll switch around to the other side. We're going to have that left leg goes forward. Left leg is nice and straight. And again, you're on the edge, tall spine. Flex your foot, so you're actively pulling your toes up the front of the leg. And then we're just going to roll your leg, externally rotate, and then internal rotation. And you might notice, oh, this leg is tighter or looser than the other side. and or one direction may be tighter or looser than the other side. And just kind of notice and go gentle. You want to just prime the joint here. We're getting some mobility, synovial fluid through that hip joint. We never want to go into pain. We just want to mobilize and lubricate here. Get movement where a lot of times we're very tight in the hips. One more time, roll out and then roll in and then point those toes down and in towards the right. It's like a little sickle foot. You know, the foot goes down and in. And then you pull the foot up and out. So now the pinky toe is going to pull up the outer leg and then point down and in and pull up and out. And one more, point down and in, pull up and out, and then point down and in, stay there. Body long, take a little hinge. And you'll hinge, you know, everyone's hinge is going to be different. So you'll hinge just enough so that you see when you start to feel a little bit of activity, you know, pulsation or pull through the outer foot, outer calf, maybe hamstring, and then come back up and flex the foot. One more time, point down and in with that pinky toe, lifting up out of my pelvis. I'm going to hinge from the sits bones. I hinge over. Take a breath or two here. And then we come back up and flex the foot. Beautiful. Okay, let's face back to center. I want to do a little bit for our face, and then we're going to get to some more of our body. So we're going to just take our fingertips. You're going to tap your face. And we're going to tap especially the area around your jaw and the back of the ear. Okay, so spend a little time there, but also cover the whole face. So we want to cover the cheekbones and the forehead, your temples, the jawline, a little extra around that back of the ear and the TMJ joint. And just tapping. Notice as you tap, is there sensitive, if there's any spot, does one side feel more sensitive than the other? For me, it's my right jaw. Like notice for you, where is tightness in my face? And let's tap over the head to the base of the neck. Tap, really get into the skull, feel your skull as you tap, getting the whole entire skull. And let's all take our tapping to the back of the neck, and that let's tap here a little bit more, a little bit longer, I should say. Tapping those occiput, the base of the skull, getting some blood flow here where the neck and the head meet. Okay, and then we're going to do a little throat stroking. Let's stroke down our throat. Nice and brisk, getting some lymph drainage. Yeah. And then we're going to go to your, take the one hand or both hands. We're going to rub up and down the center, so sternum towards belly button and back up. The center line, sternum to belly button. Giving some good rubbing in here. You can use your fist. You can use your knuckles. Getting some heat, some awareness to the center line of our bodies. One more little rub. Good, and just shake the hands a little bit. Okay, let's cross your right over your left. And you're in a figure 4 stretch. Just sit up as tall as you can. Can you get your pelvis to move a little bit forward? So the front of your pelvis moves forward. Do you feel a stretch there in your leg when you do that? Okay, good. And then just slump back. And you kind of sit back so your pelvis now curls under and your back behind. And then now move the pelvis forward. Can we lean a little forward? So we're going to play with a little bit of figure 4 stretch. And then we're going to curl back. So it's like we're going to warm ourselves up here. And then we're going to come forward. So tailbone goes behind you. And then we kind of, tailbone goes under and we slump back. Yep, one more time. We come forward, tailbone goes back. We lean forward any amount so we get a stretch. And then we slump back a little bit. Nice. Let's go forward, stay for a breath. So we're going forward. I can hold on here. I can hold on to the chair. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to feel as if I could get my belly a little bit closer to my thigh. And it could just be a thought. Sometimes if I just think about that, that increases a little bit of a stretch for me in my hip. And then let's take awareness to our foot. Can we give a little ankle circle here? So adding a little bit of an ankle circle. Circling from your ankle. Maybe even look at your ankle. Is my ankle doing what I think it's doing? And then go the other way. Move from your ankle itself. There we go. Nice. And then let's come back up and uncross the legs. Take the other leg. Sometimes we can use our hands if we need to, or we can bring it up itself. Yeah, one side's tighter. Sometimes we need that extra help. Just feel first this side. Can we get really tall? Notice where the pelvis is. Does it feel like my pelvis is under me or behind me? Kind of orientate yourself. And then can I bring the front of my hips forward towards my leg? So that takes the back of the pelvis behind me. And then I come back up and I'm going to just kind of slouch. Pelvis curls under me. I can do a little slouch. Yep, let me come up. Pelvis goes back behind me. Bring the top of the hip bones forward. Woo, this side's tighter for me. Woo. And then I go back and I curl the pelvis under. So we're rocking through the pelvis, opening up the hip and the nerves here. Come forward and go back. And then we'll come forward. Let's stay forward and we think about the belly coming closer to our legs, any amount. And we just hold that for a moment and breathe. And again, go into just the edge of discomfort. We don't want to push into a place where we can't breathe or we're holding and waiting. So if that's your go-to, back out of that a little bit and breathe there instead. And then bring your awareness to your foot and your ankle. Can we give some ankle circles here? And you get to pick your pace. So always, if I go a little faster, or if I go slower and you want a different pace, feel free to do a pace that feels good for you, where you can map out the motion. And then go the other way. Make sure the foot is not just doing it from the toes, but you're doing this from your ankle. Great. All right, and then come back up. And the foot comes down. Let's do some stand-ups here. I like to call them stand-ups. So nice, simple, just standing up. If you know you need some extra support, be next to a wall, you can hold on to something. We're gonna have our feet under us, about hip width distance. I'm gonna lean slightly forward, my eyes are looking down, and then I'm gonna stand up and my eyes look either straight ahead or slightly up. And then to come down, I'm gonna sit back, my arms might go forward, and I sit back. Good, come forward, rock forward, find your feet, stand up, look up, and then sit back down and sit back. So I really want that weight shift. So I shift forward, find the feet, come up, look up. And then when you come down, we sit down and sit back. So I want you to rock back a little bit. I rock forward, find the feet, up. So we're stimulating our vestibular system. We come down and I rock back a little bit. And then I come forward with the head and pelvis. I come up. Yes. I come down. And then I'm going to rock back a little bit. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Come forward. Come up. Look up. Come down. And rock back a little bit. Let's do a few more. Find that rocking motion. Come forward and up. Using your eyes, using your feet, down and back. One more time, come forward and up. Coming down and back. Good, and then find center, and let's stand up. Let's move the chairs to the side. Let's do a little standing footwork here. So grab your pinky ball or your whatever kind of ball you're working with today. I have these foot wakers because my dog stole my ball. And so we're going to place the ball under your left foot. And you can hold on to the chair if you need to, or the wall. And all we're going to do first is just what I like to call spreading the bones of the feet. So we're just going to start to press down into the ball. And I'm moving the ball through, sections or parts of my foot, and I'm just pressing. And you might come across some sensitive spots. And again, we don't want to go into pain, but we're doing some presses. Can I spread the bones? Can I get space in between the bones of my feet? Maybe the ball kind of nestles its way in between some of the metatarsals, and you're just working on kind of kneading, massaging through the bottom of the foot. Make sure you get your heel also, right? And the sides of the foot, make sure you go along your sides of the foot. It's hard to, the ball might scooch, try to get away, but try to get the side and the inside. All right, good, okay. And then let's go ahead and take that left leg, just have it go forward in front of you. We're gonna do what's called a foot wave. So I'm gonna start with my toes. I'm gonna curl my toes, and then I'm gonna curl the top of the foot, and I'm gonna continue to curl my foot all the way down to my capacity of a point. The foot might cramp. And then I'm gonna pull your toes up like we've been doing, and we're gonna roll back up until the heel reaches forward, okay? Let's do a few. So curl toes, even the sides of the feet roll in a little bit, like maybe you had a softball right there, and then continue to roll all the way down. And then pull the toes back up and the heel lifts. Let's just do one more. So curl toes, think of the sides of the feet rolling through, and then pull and come back. Good. And just place the foot down, stand on both feet for a moment, and we're gonna balance on the leg, the foot on the left leg. And as we're balancing, remember that short foot we did when we were sitting? Can you feel almost like the big toe and the inner heel drew together a little bit, so you lifted up through the foot? Woo! And then as you do that though, right, can you balance a little bit? And then can you relax your foot? And so see about playing with lifting the arch of the foot and then relaxing. And definitely hold on if you need to. I think I need to hold on. So you're gonna pull up through the arch of the foot a little bit. Let that be the inhale, and then relax. And one more, we pull up through the arch of the foot. You might notice inner thigh up through that pelvic line even turns on, and then relax. And then rest, good. Let's go to the other side. So first we start with this kneading, this massaging, spread, pushing down, moving the ball through the whole entire foot. So we're gonna take our time. We have a lot of territory to cover, actually. We wanna get in between each of those bones. I wanna think of spreading the bones of the foot. Try to stay as relaxed as possible in the foot that you're pressing with, right? So it's easy to tense. Let's see if you can relax and make sure to get your heel and the insides. And if there's a sensitive spot and if it feels like okay, you could spend a little more time in that spot, okay? And you're breathing the whole time as you wake up our feet, pressing all the parts of the foot. Let's, a few more moments here. Yep. And then go ahead and come on off. And now we're standing on the left leg, right leg is forward. And we're gonna try those foot waves. So I'm going to first start with my toes, like I was gonna grab a pen or a pencil, and I wanna hold on to it. And then it's the top, that's the top of the foot, those metatarsals start to roll in and over. And then I'm pointing, and then I pull back up. Curl toes, ball the upper foot rolls in and over all the way through. And sometimes it cramps, that's okay. And then roll back. One more time. We curl, moving through the, see if you can articulate through your foot. Don't go too fast so that we miss it. We don't want to block. We want to see if we can articulate. And then we roll back through. Good. And we stand on the right foot. We balance. Now you can hold on, of course. I might keep one finger because we're going to work the foot here. So we're going to try to lift our arch as we're standing on our foot. Can I lift up through that arch, through the leg? You'll feel the whole inner thigh. There's a sense of pulling upward from the arch of the foot, and then you relax. Can I pull big toe to heel, kind of pull towards each other, lifting, and it may just be a thought at first, and then release. And we pull, it's almost like you could pull the ground up. and release. Last time, pull. And release. Good. And then come down both feet. Okay, so we're going to do something kind of, this is another exercise. It's for the whole leg, but we're going to do, it's a little bit turned in. Okay, and we're going to continue this work with the arch. Okay, so we're slightly turned in with our feet, just a little bit, not extreme. Okay, some of us, it might feel more like parallel. I want to keep the sense of the arches lifted, and then I'm just going to let my knees go inward. Okay, I'm going to feel some ankle work. And then I come back up. So that's the first move. So my arches are lifted, the same thing we've been doing. My knees are going to go in. And then I come back and I straighten. And knees go in. And they straighten. Yep, knees go in. Good, and they straighten. Now knees are going to go in. I'm going to stick my butt behind me. So it's a weird, different type of a squat. We call this an athletic squat, actually. And then I come back up. Good. Knees go in, hips go back, and straighten up. Yeah, we're keeping the arches lifted. When knees go in, hips go back. And up. Good. One more time. Knees go in, hips go back, and back up. Good. Back to parallel, more of a parallel, let's go wide, less inward. And we're just going to bend your left knee. And we're just going to sit over to this left. So my right leg is straight, my left knee is bent. And then can I do a little hip hinge over? So we have to stretch through those inner lines. And then I come back up and I straighten the leg. I'm going to bend my other leg. So right knee bends, left leg is straight. You hip hinge over. Long spine. We come back up and straighten up. Nice. Again, left leg bends. When I bend the left leg, just notice my pelvis stayed right between my legs. So it's not sticking out yet to the side. It's right there in the middle. It's just my left knee going over about second toe. Then I'm going to change. I'm going to take my pelvis behind me as I hinge to a long spine position. Yes, and then I come back up. Good, let's go again to the other side. So I bend, make sure the pelvis stays center. Yeah, good job. And then we send the pelvis behind us. It's a long spine. Feet are active, feet are pushing the ground away. And then I come back up and I straighten up. Let's go a little bit more narrow, but not much. Just step in about, a little bit. And then we'll soften the knees and we're gonna move pelvis here. So we're gonna go pelvis comes under us and pelvis goes behind us. Tailbone goes under, tailbone goes back. Breathing, can I keep my upper body still and kind of long as I move the pelvis? And you're breathing. So one of the things we want to think about when we move the pelvis is that as the pelvis comes under us, you might start to notice a little low ab work, maybe a little glute work. And then when you go back behind you, you want to let the abs go. And you might feel a little bit of low back work. So pelvis comes under you. Notice that, oh, my glutes are working. I also want to feel my abdominals. And then when I let it go, I get to let the glutes go. I get to let the belly go. Okay, a couple more, pelvis under, and we're back. One more time, pelvis under, and then go back, and then find neutral. Okay, find a neutral pelvis. Let's come back to center. Bring your legs all the way together so they're one leg. Inner feet touch. And then you're nice and tall. Just feel eyes open. You're going to kind of see what's in front of you, but also take awareness of the space you're in. Can you feel weight onto your feet? I'm going to shift my body a little forward towards the balls of my feet. I'm going to push the ground away. I may need to hold on to something as I lift my heels up. I'm drawing up through the inner line of my body, inner line of my feet, and then I slowly roll back down. So I'm zipping up, my eyes are taking in the space. I'm shifting slightly forward. I push down in order to lift the heels up. And then I slowly roll through the feet. It's like that foot wave, but now we're loaded. We have gravity, right? So we're pushing to rise. Eyes are taking in the space you're in. So they're taking in what's in front of you, what's around you, and then you lower back down. Nice and easy, 3 more times. Breathe, let's inhale as we rise up. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. One more, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Good, feet a little bit apart. Arms externally rotate, so open, the same thing we did sitting. We're gonna roll those arm bones open, roll the thumbs to turn behind you. Let's look up. And then when you exhale this time, the arms are gonna come forward like you're hugging a big basket or a tree, and you're gonna hug and send your ribs behind you and eyes and look towards the belly. And then we're gonna inhale, we open up and back, arms go behind you, slightly down. We exhale, we come forward, round and hug. Tailbone curls under you. Look at the belly, chin to chest. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we round. Belly hollows back, hugging from the center. Inhale, we rise, arms open, look up. Exhale, tailbone curls round inward. One more time, inhale. We open, it's like we're expanding, coming out of the shell, and then exhale, we go back in. And then just stand up nice and tall. Beautiful. Let's go to the mat. So maybe move your chairs unless you need them for help to come down, but you can move them. I think you can see me. Let me just make sure. Okay. All right, so coming to the ground, we're gonna lay on our backs on the floor. If you need a little head cushion for your head, you can have that. But we're gonna lay, legs are long, and arms are gonna be out to a T position. Okay. Then you want to make sure if you don't have room for the arms to be out to your sides, you could have them a little bit lower. That's fine, okay? But if they can be in a T, that would be great. But again, no worries if they're not, okay? Depending on space, of course. And we're going to do a very similar exercise we were doing when we were seated and we did when we were standing. And now we're going to take it down to the ground. So it's the arm bone, it's your upper shoulder and upper arm that's going to initiate this movement. Head is easy, body's easy. We're going to inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to roll your arms open, right? It's into an external rotation. Keep rolling the shoulder, the arm open on the inhale as much as you can. And then exhale, we let it go, we relax. The arms come back towards the ground. So inhale, let shoulders roll the arms open into external rotation. And then we exhale, we relax it back down. We'll just do a couple more like that. So inhale, the arm bones roll open. Notice how the chest lifts with that motion. We exhale, let it go. Last time, inhale. Arm bones roll, the shoulder rolls and opens up through the whole arm. And exhale, let it go. Let the arms relax. Bring your awareness to your legs. The legs are about hip-width distance apart. And allow now on the inhale, we're going to roll your thigh bones inward. So the legs internally rotate on the inhale. Then the exhale, just let it go. So it's nice, simple reprogramming of our limbs. We're going to internally rotate as we inhale. You'll notice how the tailbone drops into the floor a little bit. And then exhale, let it go. Internally rotate your thigh bones. The whole legs will roll in. And then let it go. 2 more times. We roll the thigh bones inward on the inhale. And then we let it go. One more time, rolling thigh bones in. And let it go. All right, we're gonna combine our arms and our legs. It's a little bit of a, might be a little tricky, but we're gonna inhale. Your arms are gonna externally rotate as your legs internally rotate. Have that be your inhale. And exhale, we let it go. Take your time. Again, if you need to go slower than me, that's fine. We inhale, internally rotate your legs and externally rotate your arms at the same time. And then let it go. 2 more times. Legs internally rotate, arms externally rotate, same time. Find that full inhale and exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhaling as we internally rotate the legs, externally rotate the arms, and then let it go. Bring your arms by your sides. Bring your feet a little closer. We're going to think about the pelvis here. So you're going to exhale. Can we anchor the pelvis under us? So drawing the low back towards the mat. If you need to bend the knees for any reason, you can do that. For example, if the back feels too sensitive with the legs long, you can always bend your knees, okay? And then just let the pelvis go. And then we curl the pelvis under us, anchor the low back, and we get the tailbone under us, and then release it. And again, tailbone curls under, same movement we did standing. Now we're taking it down to the ground. So hopefully feeling those low abs kick on, and then we release. Pelvis curls under, low back comes closer to the floor, and then release. We'll do one more, we'll vary. So we're gonna curl pelvis under, anchor the low back. Can we keep that low back, the pelvis where it is? Bring your arms to the sky, interlace your hands, place the hands behind the head, and head float up. We lift up, looking towards our toes. And then we roll back down, let the pelvis go. Now the hands will stay there. So take an inhale. Exhale, let's do that at the same time. So we anchor pelvis, anchor low back, and head floats up at the same time, lifting up, and then rolling back down, let it go. Exhale, anchor pelvis, anchor low back, lift up, and let it go. Exhale, anchor low back, head floats up, and let it go. Let's do 2 more. Anchor low back, head floats up, find your breath. Yes, and let it go. Last time, let's stay up there. Let's anchor low back, head floats up. Keep everything anchored. Can you bring the right leg in, tabletop? Can you bring the left leg in, tabletop? Woo, squeeze the legs together. Squeeze those inner thighs. Then separate your legs. Take one leg all the way back down on the floor. Other leg back down onto the floor. And let everything go. Relax. We should probably do that again because it was so fun. So let's anchor the low back. Head floats up. That's your exhale. Keep everything anchored. Bring one leg up, tabletop. Bring the other leg up, tabletop. Find those inner thighs. Squeeze them together. Separate them. Take one leg all the way down. Other leg all the way down. And the head floats down. Whew, good. One more time. So anchor low back. When you go this deep into the abs, you don't need to do a lot to have super effect. So 3 is great. So head floats up. Up we go. And bring one leg in, tabletop. Bring the other leg in, tabletop. Hug, squeeze the legs together. Separate the legs. One leg long, other leg long, and the head floats down. Whew, and then arms by your sides. All right. Let's take the back. Let's think of the back of your right shoulder pressing down into the floor, and think of pressing the left leg down into the floor. So we have right arm press back, left leg press back. Press into the floor. Now you're going to lift the opposite limbs up. So right arm's pressing, left leg's pressing, right leg and left arm lift. And then we lower down. And we change sides. So left shoulder, right leg press, and other side lifts up. Good. And down, little cross patterning. We press to one side, one opposite side down as the other side lifts. And down. We press down into the floor to lift the other side. Opposite arm and leg. And down, keep going. Find your timing. One shoulder, one leg presses, the other arm and leg lift. Find the ground in order to lift the other side up. Go do one more each side on your own timing. Find the ground, press into it, then the limbs, other side lifts. So you'll feel your glutes turn on, you'll feel the back of the shoulder turn on. Good, beautiful. Finish off with either side you're on. And then you'll just bend the knees and bring your feet flat on the floor. You're gonna, and about hip width distance apart, and we're gonna go to that figure 4 stretch we did when we were sitting. So you're gonna cross your right ankle over your left knee. Yep, and then let's take our hands and find those, find your right lower ribs. So find your right lower ribs for me. And can you kind of dig in there a little bit with your, now be gentle, but dig in underneath your rib cage and give me a little, let's give a little massage here to our diaphragm. So you're just gonna run your hands, your fingers up and down kind of the inside of your right ribs. Okay, so down towards that waistline, right underneath, follow that rib line. And there might be some sensitive spots in here, right? We have the organ, the liver's in here. If we go deep enough, we get into colon, but especially we have the diaphragm. And the diaphragm can get kind of tight, and we want to keep that diaphragm nice and mobile. So we're just giving a little massage. Okay, now keep your hands there, and you're going to take your legs over to the left. And as the legs go to the left, your hands are sliding down the ribs to the right, okay? And you just keep your hands here on the ribs here. And maybe you're standing, like maybe the right foot is flat on the ground, and if it is, great. If it's not, that's okay too. I want you to breathe into where your hands are. So I want you to take 3 breaths in this little twist here, and you're breathing right into those hands. And feel movement under your hands when you breathe. One more breath. Make it nice and full. You can keep massaging if you'd like to. And then slowly bring the legs back to center. Uncross the leg, that side, and let's go to the other side. So you'll cross your left ankle over your right knee, and then place your hands inside the, now we're going to massage through the right ribs. So just sliding underneath those right ribs. You can get in there again. Sometimes they're sensitive spots, but this is a really important area that we want to keep mobile. And sometimes we have to do this with our hands, right? With some manual. So getting in there, breathing as you massage underneath those ribs, up and down. That's the inside of those ribs, all the way to the side of your body there. Don't be afraid to get in there, but also it can be a little bit sensational, so go gentle. And let's keep our hands there. And then you're going to take their legs over to the right, and you're going to gently draw your hands down those left ribs to the left. So and then we just pause here. Maybe that left foot is on the ground. If it can, that's great, standing on it. And then let's just breathe here. You can massage as you breathe or just hold your hands still. But I want you to take some very intentional breaths into this part of your rib cage, this lower part of the diaphragm on the left side. And you may notice one side is harder to breathe into or easier to breathe into. So just make a note of that. And then slowly bring your legs back to center. Uncross the legs. And arms are going to be by your sides. Let's have thumbs face up so the shoulders are wide. We're just going to do one bridge here. So feel your feet on the ground. Feel the body. Feel some space, maybe some awareness through that, rib cage area, since we were just palpating there and breathing. And nice and easy, pressing the ground away. Feel your feet press down. Lift your pubic bone up. So hips lift up away from the ground. Feeling the feet here, the big toe, the pinky toe. Feeling that openness of the front of the body. You want to send those thigh bones forward over the feet. You want to feel how the back of the arms are kind of pressing down into the floor like we did before. We're pressing the back of the shoulder down. We're lifting the hips up. Take a few breaths, and this time breathing into both sides, right and left of your ribs. We'll do 2 breaths. And then on that next exhale, you'll roll slowly down through your spine. Lengthening through the vertebra, all the way down to the ground. And then just hug one knee into your chest and then the other, and give yourself, the knees could be wide, just give yourself a little rock. Side to side, feel the low back against the mat. And you're using the floor to massage your back. So you're getting that contact from the floor to your back. Nice massage here. And then take this rocking all the way to one side. You'll just roll over to one side and you'll just push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Find any seat just to finish off our class today. We'll do a little bit of a facial activation. So finding a comfortable seat. I'm going to lift our eyebrows, lift your cheekbones, and smile the biggest smile you've ever smiled. Show me all your teeth. Can you lift your cheeks up, the right cheek, the left cheek, wrinkle the eyebrows. Big facial activation. Lift, 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 lift. And then squeeze, and you're going to scrunch the face, close the eyes as if you tasted something sour, and then relax the face. Just one more time. Lift eyebrows, lift cheekbones, huge smile, show me all your teeth. Lift up. Hold it. Can I feel the cheeks lift, eyebrows lift? And then squeeze the face. And then relax. And just let the face relax. Keep the eyes gently closed. Bring your hands onto your heart or chest. And take a breath into your body. Giving gratitude for our time to do some self-care. And thank you for joining today. Thank you so much. We are done.